Alright folks, Papa Top 912 coming at you with another recipe, and this one's going to be a multi-part recipe all in one. We're going to be making some lemon ricotta pancakes with a little strawberry compote and some lemon curd as the toppings. So right now what you're looking at here is just what we're going to be using to make strawberry compote. I'm going to get that started, then I'll start on the lemon curd, and finally we'll start on the pancakes. But what we got is just some fresh chopped strawberries, some lemon, fresh lemon juice, and then over there you can see we got some lemon zest and some powdered sugar. Now you can use regular sugar. Most people use regular sugar, but I like to use powdered sugar in the compote. Powdered sugar is just like sugar to the 10th degree, so you don't need a lot of it because it's just so sweet already. So that's what we're going to be using. I'm going to just, it's real simple. You just put the strawberries in the pot. Got my little pot right there. And then you put some sugar on it. And I'm going to put a little bit of that lemon juice in it. And I'm just going to put that on the stove and just bring it to a low simmer and let the strawberries cook down. So I'm going to get that started and I'll show you what it looks like on the stove. Alright guys, so if you can see here what we got going on. There's the strawberries. I put about the juice of one lemon in there with the strawberries, and then just that powdered sugar right on top. And I'm going to go ahead and cook this down, and once it gets done I'll show you what it looks like. But I got it on a medium heat now, and once the strawberries start letting off their juice and it starts to bubble, and I'll turn it down a little bit more and I'll just cook it slow. In the meanwhile, we're going to get started on this lemon curd. Alright guys, so now we're going to be moving into making the lemon curd. And for the lemon curd, you're going to need 4 lemons, and you want to zest them and you want to juice them. So see, this here, right here, is a lemon that I've already zested, and I got it prepped for juicing. If you can see how I'm squeezing that, and it just gives, it's popping with juice. Now most of your lemons you buy at the store, they're pretty much hard as a brick for the most time. But what you're going to do, you're going to take that lemon, it's going to roll it on your counter, and you got to put some muscle into it. If you roll that lemon for a couple minutes, it's going to get nice and soft and juicy, and it's going to be nice and squishy just like that. So I roll them first, and then I zest them, and then I cut them and I juice them. And I use a juicer as such versus using a fork or a spoon or something like that. But you can use whatever you got, but that's just what I use when I am getting my lemons ready. So again, that's the pre-lemon, hard, post-lemon, nice and juicy. So gonna finish juicing these lemons. You see I got my zest here, right here. That's the zest of 4. I got 1 more to go because I did 5 lemons, because the 1 lemon went into the strawberry compote, and then the zest of that other lemon is going to go into the pancakes themselves. So like the zest of 4 lemons in the curd and the zest of 1 lemon in the pancake. So be back in a little while with a little bit more information for you. Alright guys, so now we are making the lemon curd, and all you need is a pretty simple recipe. You're just going to use 4 large eggs, the lemon zest that we spoke about earlier. You're going to need a half a stick of butter, 1 cup of sugar, and then the lemon juice. And what we're going to do, I'm going to take this little sieve here, and I'm going to strain this lemon juice. Just catch the pulp and any seeds that was in my juice. Then I'm going to pour the sugar in here, and then I'm just going to whisk this together until it gets nice and blended up. So I can't hold this camera and whisk, so I'll get that whisked up and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so you can see there that I have blended those ingredients together. So now the next thing we're going to do is going to take this lemon zest, I'm going to plop that in there, And we're gonna mix that around just a little bit. And we're gonna take it over to the stove, and we have to cook this. You have to cook this up until minimum 140, best to go up to 160, but you can take it all the way up to 180 without ruining it. I'm not going to use a thermometer. I'm just going to go by sight and thickness of the it's not custard, but thickness of the curd as I'm going with it. But we're going to take this over to the stove, and I'll show you what I'm doing over there. Alright guys, this compote is complete now. You can see those strawberries gave off all of that liquid juice in there, and it's real runny now. It's going to thicken up a little bit as it cools, but it's not going to be like a syrup. If you want to make it a little thicker, you could put just a little bit of cornstarch in there if you want to make it a little thicker, but I'm just going to leave it just like this. And you want to stop it right there because you want those strawberries to have a little bit of texture to it and not just like mush all the way up. But that is the end right there for the strawberry compote. I'll show you again. So it's just a nice syrup, and those strawberries are nice and cooked down. So we're going to get started with our moving back over to the lemon curd now. Just want to see what the end result is. I'm going to go ahead and kill the fire on that one, and I'm just going to let that cool now. Alright guys, so as you can see here, we made it over to the stove. I got a double boiler going. Now you can actually do this with right on the stove, but it's a little safer if you use your double boiler. So you're just going to keep whisking this for like 10 minutes, and after about 10 to 15 minutes it's going to start to thicken up, and you'll know what you got as it thickens. But I'm going to have to put this camera down, and I'm just going to whisk this thing over this double boiler until it gets where it needs to be, and then I'll bring it back and show you again. Alright guys, so we're back, and this double boiler is hot, so don't be touching it with your hands. I'm just using the balance a little bit, but this is got nice and thick for me now. So I'm going to take, and I'll turn my fire down. I'm going to take that half a stick of butter. I'm just going to fold that in and turn the fire off. Just going to fold this butter in now, and that's going to help make it smoothen it out a little bit. And then we'll just sit and let this here chill while we make the pancakes. So, and that butter is in there. Now you can take this and you can sift it, but I prefer to just have the zest in my curd. So if you didn't want the zest, you could sift this through that same strainer that I used to filter the juice, the lemon juice, if you wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to transfer this to a smaller container now and just put some film on it and let it cool off. And what we don't use tonight on the pancakes, we're going to make some fresh lemon tarts with those. So there's lots of things you can do with this filling, and it's a real easy filling to make. So give it a shot and let us know what you're doing with it. But you can see there, it's just going to thicken up as it cools off. And it's got a real strong lemon taste because I used a lot of lemon and a lot of zest in it. So now we're going to move on over to the pancakes, and that'll be the last thing we have to work on. Alright guys, welcome back. As you can see, we got everything all prepped up for our pancakes here. Just going to go over the ingredients for you. First, we're going to start over here on the left. We got 2 large eggs, and then we have 1.5 cups of buttermilk, and then that's the juice of 1 lemon, and then that's 1 stick of butter melted and cooled. That's 1 cup of ricotta cheese, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract pure, and then 1 lemon zested. And then on our dry ingredients, we have, starting from here and working our way around to the flour. So right there, that is 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then the next one is 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then the next one is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. The next one is 1 tablespoon of salt. The next one is 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And then last but not least, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take all the wet ingredients. I'm going to put them in this bowl here. And I'm going to whip them all together. And then I'm going to take my whisk and I'm going to just kind of whisk those dry ingredients together right there on the plate, get them blended up a little bit, and then I'll slowly fold that into this bowl with the wet mixture. And once we get that done, we're going to let it sit for about 15 minutes and let some of those chemical reactions take place. And once it starts to kind of get some bubbles in it, we'll be ready to cook. So now I'm going to put this camera on the stand and I'll be back starting the mix. Alright folks, so first thing I'm going to do is take the buttermilk and the butter. I'm just going to mix those together. What I'm doing there, I'm letting the buttermilk continually cool down that butter so that it doesn't cook those eggs when I put them in there. So now that that's there, pour the lemon juice in, get my vanilla flavor, take my lemon zest and my little bit of vanilla flavor that spilled. Got all that worked now. And the ricotta cheese, because that's cold too. Alright. So I'm mixing that ricotta cheese in there. Right there. And now that's all blended up. I'm going to take and put my eggs in now. 2 eggs. Now if you want to, you can separate the yolks and then you can whip up the whites to make some egg whites, whip them up, get some soft peaks, and then fold those in at the end. But I'm just not going to do that this go round. Make sure this gets worked in and blended up good, because once I put that flour in there, I don't want to be moving it too much because I don't want to overstimulate the gluten. So that's mixed in. I'm going to go ahead and put in about 1/3. Another 1/3. Make sure you scrub down those edges. Get it all blended in. Alright. And then take the last 1/3. It's going to be somewhat of a thicker batter than I normally do for just my regular buttermilk pancakes, because you got that cheese in there. But trust me, you're gonna like it. So there you go. It's almost like a waffle batter to me, almost. So I'm gonna just got that mixed in, scrape down the edges a little bit more, twist it to the middle. Now we're just gonna let that sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna clean up my mess and get my pan ready on the stove. We'll start making some pancakes and this recipe will be over. Alright guys, so here is the end result of the pancakes. Make sure I keep that in frame there. So I got 2 of those lemon ricotta pancakes there. First thing I'm going to do is take some of the strawberry compote. Just going to just drizzle that on top. Then I'm going to take this lemon curd and just put a big dollop right in the middle. Then I take me a little bit of powdered sugar right across the top. And that is the end. So that's the end result of the pancakes. I hope you give this a shot and let us know what you think. This is Papa Talk 912, and we are signing off on the lemon ricotta pancakes with lemon curd and strawberry compote.